all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Welcome in to Dickinson on the PSP Network for the start of the WDA volleyball season. The 2025 volleyball season is officially off and running, marking the start to the new 3-class system. Yes, I said that right, 3 classes, just as you see in basketball time of year. You got the 2A, which you got your big schools, which Dickinson and Minot North, who are on your screen right now, are a part of. Then you got the Class A schools like Rugby, DLB, a few others like that, and then the Class B schools underneath. So again, 3-class system, very similar to how basketball is run, and that is going to be implemented again this year. So fun now, that instead of 2 volleyball state champs, we'll have 3 going forward, and that means the march towards the Bismarck Event Center in November starts now. I'm Brock Weidner, joining on the PSP Network here in Dickinson for the Mavericks home opener as they host Minot North. But before we jump into this matchup in particular, we are going to head on over and take a look at the WDA volleyball standings. Every team getting a couple of games of work in this week. Dickinson has had the lightest week of any team, but they are looking to get into their second matchup in WDA here today. Again, Century, who has been the powerhouse in WDA for time and time again, they have started their way for another WDA crown as 2-0 to start the year, 8-0 overall record. They had a very good crossover when they played the teams in the East. Bismarck High and Minot High have also gone 2-0. Minot picked up a big win yesterday to keep them undefeated. Jamestown 1-0. They played today against Williston. Legacy 1-1. They defeated Minot North, who we see today 1-1, and Dickinson 0-1. A couple of 0-2 teams in Mandan, St. Mary's, and Williston. So there you go. Dickinson again versus Minot North on the docket here on the PSP Network. And also in WDA action tonight, we got Jamestown taking on Williston. So lots of great matchups going on as we continue on in the WDA volleyball talk. And last year was Minot North's first year playing varsity volleyball. And those 2 games against DHS made it the first ever 2 meetings between these 2 schools. And they both went in the way of Dickinson High. Dickinson High won in a 5-setter on September 7th last year, taking sets 2, 3, and 5, and then they would sweep Minot North in a 3-setter on October 23rd. Today's game is one of the 2 meetings the Mavs and the Sentinels will have here today or this year, and they'll start it off at the beginning of the season against each other, and then they'll end the season against each other on October 25th. Well, more to come on the Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show right here on the PSP Network.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
At Badlands Pet Crematory, we understand that pets are family. Unlike other crematories in the area, we are the only dedicated pet crematory that offers private individual cremation. One pet at a time, 100% guaranteed. From start to finish, we personally handle your pet with the utmost care, ensuring that you receive only your pet in return. Choose Badlands Pet Crematory, because saying goodbye should come with certainty and trust.
Rooted in the heart of our vibrant communities stands Bravera Bank, offering complete financial services for banking, wealth management, and insurance. From home loans and checking accounts,
let me tell you about the cashback rewards with this account,
to wealth management, we'll help you forge your path ahead.
Let's create a plan to reach your financial goals.
Sounds great.
With specialty insurance coverage, our advisors ensure your operation can carry on.
Looks like it's going to be a great harvest.
DHS is playing with heavy hearts this year, with this season dedicated to Cecilia Homston. CC passed away unexpectedly in December. She was an all-region and all-state player for DHS last year. Homiston's legacy continues to live on through her jersey number 7. As you can see, the Mavericks supporting her on that number 7 on their warm-up shirts, with the bottom of that shirt saying, "For her." When you are in the Dickinson, in the Queen City, you may see people wearing T-shirts with that very logo on the front. And that is a reminder of CC and her impact, and a great remembrance and tribute to Homiston, who was beloved by her team, classmates, and community. The Mavericks roster sheet tonight, and I would assume it's going to be the entire year as well, is when it has the number 7 next to number 7 on the roster sheet, it says #for her. So Cecilia, this DHS volleyball season goes out to you. Last year, this DHS team went 24-14, 16-6 in WDA play, and DHS won their quarterfinal matchup versus Legacy in the WDA tournament. Made Dickinson's first region quarterfinal matchup since 2012. The last time the program made it to state was in 2012 when they last won that quarterfinal region game. The Mavericks started the season off with a win against Grand Forks Central 2-1 in that crossover event to start the year last weekend, but since then have lost the remaining 5 games in that crossover and then fell earlier this week to Bismarck High as the Demons won in a 4-setter. Taking set number 2 did Dickinson 25-18. Senior Jenna Nelson tallied 20 kills, 9 digs, 1 ace as the Mavericks look to bounce back and pick up a win on their home opener versus Minot North. The Sentinels are 5-3 overall, 1-1 in WDA play, and have had a busy start to the season, going 4-2 at the crossover last weekend with wins against Fargo North and South, both Grand Forks schools, as the Sentinels then followed up with already playing 2 games this week. They've had a busy 3-game week. They fell to Legacy in a 4-setter on Tuesday. Then they traveled over to the Wilson-Basin area to take on the Coyotes. They defeated the Coyotes in a 3-set sweep on Thursday, and they're back on the road today here in the Queen City for their 3rd game this week, and 9 game in a 2-week span, or a week span, for Minot North. So they have definitely been putting in the work. The Sentinels also finished 6th in WDA last year in their first season at the varsity level. They return a majority part of last year's inaugural varsity lineup squad, and they return a key player in junior setter Bryn Francis, and have plenty of weapons for her to distribute the ball to. So this offense has been firing in all cylinders with Francis at the helm. 75 assists on the year in 2 WDA games, 42 assists against Legacy, another 33 against the Williston Coyotes. Well, the pregame show going to continue on. We've still got key players and keys to the game to go over. Pregame show has been brought to you by the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Locally owned oil change headquarters, 25 years of Lundeen's taking care of people. Local actually matters. Not to mention the oil change is a stay-in-your-car oil change. That's typically performed in 15 minutes or less. Find them in Minot and Bismarck. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Breathe in.
I can't believe I wrecked my car.
There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Spas Etc. is excited to introduce the addition of the Master Spas line, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas and swim spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools and saunas. Come check out the outstanding lineup of Master Spas at Spas Etc.
great news. If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Minot North in town for their second varsity season at the WDA level. And the Sentinels here to play early on this season, 5-3, 1-1 in WDA play. Got wins against Fargo North, Fargo South, and both Grand Forks schools. And then in WDA competition, lost to Bismarck Legacy 1-3 over on Tuesday with sets of 22-25. They won set 2, 27-25 before falling in the last two, 19-25 and 21-25. And you can go and watch that one back on the PSB Network on YouTube. Owen Patterson had the call there, and very fun matchup to watch. Then this Sentinels team then went to Williston on Thursday and were able to run past the Coyotes 25-18, 25-16, 25-13. Last year, this was, again, a very young Sentinels team, but as you look at how they fared after each set, it looked like this was a Sentinels team that maybe got off to slower starts in sets 1 and 2, but sets 3, 4, and 5 is where they would win a majority part of those sets. So, again, this is a team that was really able to get off and running later in that game once they kind of got their feet underneath them. This season, though, they have been perfect in set number 2. They're 1-1 in set number 1 against WDA competition, but they've taken both sets against Legacy and Wilson in set number 2. So take a look and keep an eye on that to see how Sentinels react in set 2, as they've been perfect thus far in the season. Talking about a couple of the key players on this Sentinels team. Again, head coached by Coach Francis. She's coached North in the first 2 seasons that they have had a varsity program. She then coached at Minot High prior for the 9th grade team, and also coached in Minnesota high schools as well, and Minot State. Last year, 14-23 overall, 11-11 in WDA play. They were the 6th seed in WDA, as just lost one really key player in that starting lineup in Caden Shipman, their lead kill getter, but plenty of options and weapons to go for Minot North this year. And we talked about her briefly, but Bryn Francis is that difference maker. Just a junior, 75 assists in 2 WDA games this year, and 4 aces in those 2 games. So averaging 2 aces per game, and averaging well over almost 40 assists per game as well. Last year had almost 350 assists in WDA play and 18 aces. So keep an eye on 13 in the Navy. She is going to be the one that's going to be the distributor, but she's got plenty of options to dish it out to. Avon Kelly has been the go-to this part of the season. 31 kills, was the highest kill getter in the first 2 WDA games. Had 19 kills against Legacy, 12 against Wilson. Had over 118 kills last year. Last year's highest kill returner, McKinley Craig, 126 kills last year. Maybe off to a little bit of a slower start this year, but they've been using her in the back line a little bit more. 11 kills for Craig. Keep an eye on her to get going. Ellie Lishkowski, 21 kills, another great option for this offense. Evelyn Jessen has 7 kills, and again, you got 3, 4 legit options if you're Minot North. And then on the back end, plenty of trustworthy players back there. Aniston Perrin, as well as Kate Weissauer back in the back line. So this is a very well-rounded team, and that's what we've seen. I mean, that Bismarck Legacy game, that's a really good Sabre squad and very competitive in that matchup, and then ran past Wilson. Keep an eye on these Sentinels this year. Dickinson Mavericks, 1-6 in their start of their first season as the Mavericks, 0-1 in WDA play. Again, they defeated Grand Forks Central in the season opener in that crossover last weekend, 2-1 before falling the reigning games, those crossovers, but had a decent bounce back on Tuesday. They did fall in a 4-setter against Bismarck High, but the Demons, again, right now second in WDA standings. That's going to be a very good Bismarck squad, and Dickinson was able to take a set from them and be pretty competitive in the other sets as well. This is a Dickinson Maverick team that had a very solid year a year ago and looking to try to continue on with that 24-14 overall last year, 16-6 in WDA play. Taking a look at some key players and some key names to keep an eye on this year as Jersey Lukey. Lukey was one of those players, 3 kills, 1 ace against BHS, had over 100 kills last year, 37 aces, and 27 blocks. She is the highest returner block getter and ace getter on the team, so keep an eye on 22 in orange when she gets to the service line, as Lukey has been the ace back there to get the aces in the service line. Jenna Nelson, she is the leading attack getter, 376 kills a season ago, 20 kills against BHS there on Tuesday. Also last year against Minot North, in the 2 games combined, had 41 kills, 35 digs, 3 aces against the Sentinels. Number 11 in orange, looking for another big day today. So those are a couple key players to keep an eye on. Also keep an eye on Emerson Garr. She has been the lead assist getter to start this season, kind of taking over the setting roles this year, 18 assists on Tuesday. Taking a look at the WDA coaches poll, we kind of took a look at the standings already, but the coaches poll has Dickinson at 4, Minot North at 7. But this is kind of the year for WDA where I think the top 7, top 8, maybe even you could say the whole top 10 can be very competitive and really kind of mix up and down. You take a look, Century and Bismarck High, even Legacy for that matter, are looking maybe like they've got the targets on their backs, the Bismarck schools. But after that, Dickinson, Jamestown, both Minot schools, I don't think they're too far behind in the mix. And I think it's going to be fun when we get into November and get into WDA tournament time when we step in there in Mandan. So I think it's going to be a fun year all around, and great to be part of it here on the PSP Network. Well, we're almost ready and set for opening festivities. First game on the volleyball side here in front of their home fans. Here to be in that Maverick namesake. And their first opponents at home under the Maverick name are the Sentinels there of Minot North, as you see them on your screen now. Great student section, great crowd here for the season, for the home opener. You can see the great crowd on your screen now as we will take a break. And when we'll take a break for tonight's national anthem. That was tonight's national anthem right here on the PSP Network. Minot North, Dickinson High about to get going here in WDA Volleyball.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
The vibes are high here in the Queen City. Great attendance here tonight and this afternoon for the home opener of Dickinson High School Maverick Volleyball. Mavericks open up the season against the Minot North Sentinels in a WDA bout. Lots going on the line. I know it's a long ways till November, but seeding and wins, they all matter at this point. And you can tell these players, these fans excited to get volleyball season back up and running. As the teams will meet, shake hands pregame right at the net, and we are going to be ready to go. Mavericks going to be on your right side of your screen in the black and orange. Sentinels out of Minot North, navy and silver. Again, we'll apologize beforehand. We tried to get the score bug going and ready, but just matters were out of our hands today. So we will just have, at the end of the set, we will update the scores, but I will make sure I keep on saying the score as often as possible and keep you guys updated at home. So again, thanks for your cooperation, and excited to get the volleyball game on this match ready and rocking. Take a look on the Minot North side. They will be having Kate Weissauer with the opening serve. Here today, she is the libero for the Sentinels. Weissauer, a jumping right-hand serve, left to right across your screen. Scooped up by Gar. She'll set it across. And that one blocked. But it looks like it's going to be a call on Dickinson High, and Minot North will get the early point. 1-0 Sentinels. Dickinson High's got Jenna Nelson, Emerson Gar on that front line. As it's pot out of the air, kept up in the air by Claire Rodakowski and punched across. Quick response back. Here comes an attack from the Sentinels down the middle. Avon Kelly tried with the early attack. Counter attack by Jenna Nelson. Bumped up and over. Little quick set across. Diving effort. Jenna Nelson again with a cross-court hit. Weissauer scoops it up. Back attack from the back line from Laskowski. Ate up again well by Dickinson High. Jenna Nelson with another attack. Across the screen is Craig. Diving effort, keeping alive is Hauk. It's been a hard-fought point, and it's going to go the way of Minot North. So Weissauer continues to serve it for North as they go up an early 2-0. Scooped up by Embry. Gar to Nelson. Out of play. Was it tipped? No, it was not. So Sentinels go up 3-0 to start this one. Everything going on early in the favor of the visitors. Weissauer sends it on to the back line. Scooped up by Ava Hauk. They work it to Nelson quickly. Ball off of Sentinel and out of play. Weissauer could not quite tame that down, and Nelson gets her first kill of the day. First of what probably will be many for Jenna Nelson. 20 kills on Tuesday against the Demons of Bismarck High. Over 375 kills in WDA play a season ago. Embry with the serve, batted out of the air by Leszkowski. Quick attack, diving effort again. Some great defense for Dickinson High, but Avon Kelly slaps it down near the line. Avon Kelly there, nice net patrol. Let's take a quick look on the Ryan family dealerships. Instant replay, blocking that one down is Kelly. Kelly's definitely going to be a key player on that net front. As jamming one home there is Lukey. Lukey cannot quite get it to go. But an attack sailed a little too far out of the hands of Leszkowski and Minot North, and that will make it now 4-2 Minot North. Dickinson High has cut the gap in half as Kimora Phillips checks in, as well as Ruby Valencia. So Ruby Valencia checks in, and she will serve now for the Mavs. Jumping right-hand serve goes into the netting, 5-2 North. Minot North leads 5-2. They'll make a substitution of their own, bringing in Aniston Perrin. 26 digs against Legacy. 16 digs against Legacy, 10 versus Williston. Back set, Nelson tries to jam it home and does. Jenna Nelson shows the power behind the swing there. Was able to pin it off of a block, and it falls on the Minot North side. Serve a little too far for Nelson and company. 6-3 Minot North. They remain up by 3. Substitution, Avon Kelly comes out, and checking in is Grayson Roram. She has an ace on the year, and it came on Thursday against the Coyotes of Williston. Maybe seeing if she can get an ace here against another black and orange team, but that one going to get into the netting. Jersey Lukey had a great attack just a couple of moments ago. Now she'll go to serve. Lukey serve. Bat out of the air by Weissauer. Perrin finds Craig, who just lobs it up from the back line. Here comes the counterattack, and it's a big punch for Lexi Bradley. Lexi Bradley bringing the hammer down. Here it is now on your screen again. Sends it on a line. And that's the great thing of attackers is that defense don't know where you're going to send it. If you're going to go cross court, you're just going to send it on a line. She goes near side. It works out for Bradley and company. Bradley this time will go across the court. Weissauer with a great save. Phillips tries to slam it down. Weissauer again. Leszkowski's attack. They're going to say it was deflected, and Leszkowski gets the kill. 7-5 Sentinels after the Mavericks brought it within 1. Minot North brings the bout back to up by 2 here in set number 1. It's been a great start here in set 1 between these two WDA foes. Diving effort by Embry. Valencia sets it back to Nelson. A backline attack, not going to quite get over the net there in the middle of it. 8-5 Minot North. It's always fun to see how these teams operate on offense and how much you try to get some of these players involved from the back line. As we've seen Nelson have some backline attacks. Big swing there from Claire Rodakowski, ate up well. Hit back by Craig, cross court, cannot quite be tamed by Valencia, and out of bounds it goes, last touch by the Maverick. 9-5 North. The team for the Magic City, bringing some of that magic with them here in set 1. Bryn Francis perfectly places the serve for a service ace, and we talked about Francis quite a bit in the pregame show. She's going to be one to keep an eye on, as she's one of their top statistical leaders in many different categories. Assists near the top and aces. Kimora Phillips goes right to Francis, who digs it up. Weishout bumps it across and finds Craig, who finds Pater. Great setup for North. From Francis to Weissauer to Craig to finish it off and put them up 11-5 Sentinels. Sentinels lead 11-5. Bryn Francis continues to be the server that has helped them once again pull away. Valencia has it on to Bradley. Gets a deflection that drops down. Second kill on the day for Lexi Bradley. So this game was at 6-5. Then it went all the way now from 11-5 with a 5-point swing in favor of Minot North. Now Dickinson gets a point, see if they can rally off of it. Embry plays it to Gar, who just sets it over. Attack down the middle. Quick little strike there for Minot North. Bradley now tries to find the back line. Great effort by Perrin. Here comes Leszkowski. Big swing, kept it again. Defensive swing near the net, seeing if it dropped for Evelyn Jessen. Jessen wanted it to, but no, it does find its way out of the orange box. Back to back. Maverick points. Brings them within 4, 11-7. They trail. Lexi Bradley on the offense. As there going to be a timeout taken by Coach Hafner and the Dickinson High Mavericks. Wait a second, no, they're not. We're going to stay right here with them. She was trying to get something across and instead was going to take a timeout. And now they're going to actually issue a Minot North point. So a lot of confusion. But it will pay off for the Sentinels, as I think Hafner was trying to get something changed and just did not have enough time. Thought she was going to call a timeout, but instead they give Minot North a freebie point and puts them up 12-7, up by 5. As Ellie Leszkowski has an ace this year, had 4 aces in WDA play a season ago. One of them came against Dickinson, where she had 8 kills, 4 digs versus Dickinson last year in the 2 games. DHS now looks like they've got their substitutions the way they want it, with Gar, Bradley, and Claire Rodakowski up front. So now they'll give the okay to Leszkowski to boot this one on the way. Left-hand serve. Back line to Hauk. Gar to Bradley, a little floater scooped up well by Weishower. Attack down the middle, and this one will work for Jessen. Jessen just a little bit ago had one that she thought was in, but it was called out. This time it does go in. Maybe for her it's the ball don't lie situation. 13-7 Sentinels. And an ace serve for Leszkowski as Embry couldn't tame that one down, could not control the serve as Leszkowski picks up the ace. 2 aces in set number 1 for Minot North. They lead 14-7 here on the PSP Network in set number 1.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are...
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Estvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Estvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Minot North leads 14-7 over the Mavericks of Dickinson High here in set number 1. Dickinson High going with an early strike, cannot quite get it there. But back on the Dickinson High side, they'll just push it over from the back line from Hauk. Here comes an attack, little too far. for Minot North. They tried to find Addie Harper and get her in the mix, but Harper just a little too strong for her own good there and sends it way past the back line. 14-8. Alexi Bradley serves it across. Harper digs it up. They'll work it across on from Francis with a strike to Craig. Embry near the net. Nelson tried to jam it off the net and up, but the net will slingshot the ball back to the Dickinson high side and be a point for the Sentinels. 15-8 they lead. Start of the day at the service line was Kate Weissauer, the senior libero. Now she'll make her way back for her second time serving today. Left to right. Dug up by Hauk, but just could not quite control it there as Bradley comes racing after, but another ace serve for Weissauer, the third ace on the day for the Sentinels. Weissauer seeing if she can go back-to-back aces. Carry that momentum with Minot North. This time dug up cleanly. Gar works it to Jenna Nelson. First one is blocked, then she goes and tries to slam it down again. It looks like she crossed the line, and that is another point for Minot North. So a violation on the Dickinson high side. Makes it 17-8. Weissauer jumping right-hand serve. Dug up by Bradley. Gar works it down the middle. Slapped across by Rodakowski. Weissauer, back line attack, into the net from Ellie Laskowski. 17-9. As the Mavericks trail by 8 here in set 1. Kaylee Embry, the senior libero on the opposite side. So one libero serves, the other one does. Here comes Embry. Batted out of the air by Laskowski. They go to Avon Kelly. Right place, right time is Bradley. They quickly go from Bradley to Nelson, back to Bradley. On to the Minot North side. Kelly blocked. Weissauer as well as Laskowski trying to get the ball but cannot quite get there. A big time block for the Mavericks. Forcing Laskowski to go running into the bleachers. Couldn't quite catch up to that ball there. 17-10. Embry serve. Beautiful serve. And there's an ace for Embry. It was way too, got to just dive down there on Craig as Craig was trying to control that one off of the jump, but could not quite. Embry with the ace, tries to double down, but this time it's going to be an error on the serve. Service error, 18-11. Sentinels back up by a touchdown. Craig with the serve, too far, and now back-to-back service errors on the respective teams, and that opens it back up to a 6-point game. A couple of substitutions. Kimora Phillips will now check in for Dickinson High. She'll come in for Ava Hauk. Phillips joins the front line. Served across by Gar, a little too far again. Again, for these servers, beginning part of the season, so crucial, just getting that consistency down, getting more reps, repetition, and you can practice this thing and practice all day long, but it's always different when you get into the game setting. So it's great to get those in-game reps early on in the season. Assen Perrin with the serve. Dug up by Embry. They fake an attack one way, and they go right back to Jenna Nelson. You fake one way, you go the other. Great execution with the decoy attacker, and the decoy was definitely not Nelson. She slams it home. 19-13 Sentinels. Off the back foot, a little too long of a hit there for Avon Kelly. Kelly could not quite square up on that one. Off her back foot, was leaning backwards and sends it out of the box. 19-14, Nelson sends it across, down by 5. Francis tames it down with Kelly, cross-court attack. Valencia is there. Embry to the back line. Floats it over is Nelson. Francis, little set dump. Valencia reads it like a book. Embry to Bradley, punches it over, blocked. Ball goes high in the air. Trying to jam it down, but just cannot quite is Lukey. And that will go out of bounds. Last touched by the Mavs. As Coach Hafner going to take a timeout for the Mavericks, who trail 20-14. Sentinels on top here in set number 1.
The foundation of the financial planning approach at Legacy Financial Partners is a personal relationship. Our unique and collaborative approach to financial planning starts with your dreams, not just the numbers. We will work with you regularly to take action to update your plan as your needs evolve, recommending products and services that are right for your situation.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's going to go. So
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
There's Coach Taylor Hafner and assistant coach Jim Fay on your screen for the Dickinson Mavericks. Mavericks trail 20-14 against the Sentinels of Minot North here in set number 1. Sentinels with the lead. Orem will serve it across to Bradley. Valencia plays it up, trying to jam it down, and does. Is Jersey Lukey with the kill. Lukey had 3 kills on Tuesday. There's her first here on this Saturday afternoon. Lukey heads on over near the stage to serve. Jumping right hand hit, way too much power as it goes into the wall. 21-15, Sentinels now are in the 20s. And this is always where the points come crucial. When you get to the 20s, you just get that added pressure to try to finish this one out. Francis plays it across. Valencia, a little tap down, a little tap-aroo for Claire. Rodakowski with the kill. That's just quick decision-making for Valencia. Go right to Rodakowski. Same page. Works for a Maverick point. Valencia will check out. Gar checks in. We've seen Valencia and Gar as the setter. They have been kind of rotating in and out. Both have done a good job here so far. Hauk with the serve. Quick hit by Liskowski, blocked initially. Francis now will go the opposite direction as Craig's attack into the net for a Maverick point. So this one is seeing the Mavericks trail by 6, multiple different points in this game, but now trail by just 4. 21-17. Francis to Craig. Off the fingertips of the Mavs. Someone crossed the line, and they will say the Mavs did. So Mavericks guilty on that one on the net violation. A line violation, it'll go point for the Sentinels. As Perrin checks out, checking in is Addie Harper for the visitors. Liskowski plays it on to Embry. Guard is going to slash that one across. Weissauer calls everyone off. Punching that one close, fist and all is Craig. Embry to Bradley, cross court. Right place, right time, Weissauer. Counterattack. Out of play on the swing from Addie Harper. Back within 4 of the Mavs. 22-18. Minot North, they need just 3 more to take set 1. Lexi Bradley. Dug up by Addie Harper. They go back to Harper. Scooped up on across by Ava Hauk. Gar's bump to Nelson was just a little too light, and Nelson came sliding in on her knees there and crossed the line, got into the net, and that'll be a net violation. Great effort, though, by the senior Nelson, trying to keep that play alive. Well, now we'll just bring up 2 points away for North. As Weissauer serve, easily controlled by Bradley. Gar to Nelson, blocked, then pushed over by Gar. Back on the Sentinel side, they go to Avon Kelly. Tries to find the far corner and does. Avon Kelly with the kill. Kelly picks up a kill. She's got a kill and a block today. And now for set point. Weissauer. Scooped up by Hauk. Gar to Nelson. Keeps set one alive for the Mavs. Jenna Nelson. That was a name that Taylor Hafner, Coach Hafner for the Mavs, made sure I knew. She said, hey, you're going to be well aware and probably say Nelson's name a lot. And she has been right on the dot with that. Nelson 4 kills here in set one. Set dug up. Francis to Kelly. Tries to find the back corner again. Kept out by Hauk. Nelson's attack too long, and that will close out set number one. Minot North takes the first set. They go up in the match 1-0 with a 25-19 set win here in the Queen City.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner for commercial and business loans. We not only provide lending you need to grow your business, but we also reinvest in our communities. We believe in strengthening our businesses and creating opportunities for success. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for your commercial and business loans, and together let's keep our communities thriving.
Serving the community, looking out for you. At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
There's a great student section on your screen as the Mavericks taking on Minot North as the Sentinels go up with the early set one victory against the home team Mavericks, who again have packed this DHS high school venue, and it has been again a fun one here thus far. We'll take a look at the set two recap. A big thanks out to our sponsors that have made these broadcasts possible. Big thanks out to Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure your furnace is ready for the winter months ahead. New installation, upgrades, and all your furnace AC needs. Again, call Dylan today at 222-2155. Big thanks out to BSN. BSN creates exclusive personalized solutions for North Dakota high school and collegiate programs, from custom equipment, uniforms, and coaches' apparel to fan wear, branding, and more. They do it all. Contact your local BSN sales pro today. Big thanks out to Stevenson Funeral Home as well as Charbonneau Car Center. So set number one went the way of Minot North. They jumped out to an early 6-5 lead. And it was back and forth early on, but Minot North would get the momentum, get a 5-point swing, 11-5, and then would lead multiple points in that set, up by 6. Dickinson tried to get that down, and would get it down to as low as, I believe, 3, but it was just Minot North working it back to 6, and that's where they would win it 25-19. Off and running in set number 2. Lexi Bradley digs it up. Gar works it to Hauk in the back line. A backline swing for Hauk. Ate up by Liszkowski. Shoved on over, but not quite on over. It rolls on the netting on the attack from Adeline Harper. Addie Harper could not quite get the friendly roll, and it will be, however, friendly for the Mavericks as they will jump up 1-0. Here in set number 2, Lexi Bradley. Dug up by Liszkowski. Weissauer back to Harper. She'll try it again. A little floater diving effort. Great work there by Embry. Gar to Nelson. Cross-court attack. Here's the counterattack by Harper. Nelson off of Weissauer, up and over. Little tap down. Great Awareness there by Emerson Garr. Joust at the net. Garr plays it back to Bradley. They work it to Nelson, who finds plenty of open hardwood to strike. Jenna Nelson unofficially 5 kills for Nelson. Mavericks lead 2-0 here in set number 2, trying to even this match back up, and Lexi Bradley plays it off of Leskowski for the ace. Lexi Bradley has had a fantastic start to this game. Was able to kind of get those first couple points early in this matchup, and now here in set 2, gets an ace, puts the Mavs up by 3. Bradley with another great serve, played at the net. Kelly slams it into the back wall on an attacking air. 4-0 Mavericks. Bradley will give it a couple of drops, spin it around. Sends it on its way. Dug up by Leskowski. Francis, little back set, floater on over by Craig. Garr to Nelson. Slaps it across, rolls friendly across the net. Back to Craig it goes. She'll go opposite side, and it drops for Madeline Craig. Or McKinley Craig, excuse me. McKinley Craig with the kill, or second on the day. McKinley Craig's got serious hops. Usually you see some of your taller players on that front line. Craig, 5'7", but was their leading returning kill getter from last year. Jenna Nelson was the lead returning kill getter for the Mavericks, and she'll answer back with a kill of her own, 5-1. DHS goes up by 4 here in set 2. They've got the early momentum. See if they can keep it going. Here's Callie Embry. Embry will spin the ball around, and the libero sends it across. Libero to libero, Weissauer scoops it up. Craig from the back line. Goes right to Hauk. Garr to Lukey, who's blocked up front, and a block by Addie Harper. Harper with the block for the point. Jersey Lukey checks in, gets blocked there by Harper, and makes it 5-2 Mavericks as the Sentinels trying to work their way back into the early deficit here in the second set. Perrin plays the back to Hauk. Garr to Nelson. Diving effort by Weissauer. Francis quickly works it to Leskowski with a kill. Oh, what a sequence for Minot North. Great defense turns into great offense. We'll see how much we get on the Ryan Family Dealership into the replay. What a dig there for Weissauer. Francis to Leskowski off of Embry's hand, and in for a point for the Sentinels. Great work all around. Set dump. Great awareness on the opposite end for Emerson Garr. We're getting some high-quality volleyball between these two squads. There's the set dump for the point. Great plays all around. And hey, what better way to spend your Saturday than watching some WDA volleyball right here on the PSP Network. Avon Kelly with an attack right on the line. No one home on the back end for DHS, and Kelly scoops up another kill, her second unofficial. Kelly has been their lead kill getter to start the year, 31 kills in the 2 WDA games this year for the Minot North Sentinels. Sentinels, though, will send it into the net on a service error from the serve from Caitlin McKechnie. Making it 7-4 Mavericks. And Jenna Nelson will go back to serve. Nelson's serve goes back to the back line. Weissauer right there. Quick attack to Leskowski. She's blocked up front. Back quickly on Minot North side. Hit over by Francis. Phillips blocked. Back, and there's a duo up front from the Sentinels. Leskowski up front helps in with getting the block. It was Leskowski and Jessen with the team block, 7-5. Back within 2. Valencia sets up Lukey. Stepping into it is Craig. Francis to Leskowski, blocked up front, drops down, and there's Lukey and Phillips in with the block. He's been getting some great defense now. We've seen some great offense, some great defense, and overall, some just great volleyball here in set 2. 8-5. Lukey with the serve. Played near the net. Francis will patrol it away, and Weissauer bumps it left to right across your screen. Valencia, right down the middle. A hard swing from Rodakowski, and they will say out of bounds. Rodakowski showing her power when she's had the opportunity. Already had one kill in set number one. That one, though, a little too strong. Valencia plays it on to Bradley. Last second, as it was going to be almost touched by Liskowski. And Ellie just pulls back the handle on that one, lets that one go out of play. Heads up awareness from the sophomore Sentinel. And now Liskowski will pick up an ace serve. So what a sequence there for 17 in the Navy. The Navy in silver as she has helped swing it across. There you see her now. After a great awareness play, she gets an ace. There's going to be a service error, and we'll give back to the Mavericks the point. Mavericks have led the entirety here of set two, but they have led it by as much as 5. But the Sentinels are here to play now as they took set one and now coming back here in set two as we're getting closer to the halfway point. Ava Hauk from 10 to 10 on the jersey numbers. Weissauer digs it up. Craig cross court, pins it well again. Cross court attack. Nice little sniper move there for Craig. Snipes the corner. 9-9. We're all evened up. Sentinels look for their first lead here in set two. Try to put themselves in the driver's seat to go up 2-0 in this match as they took the early set 25-19. Weissauer's serve a little too long. Mavericks will stay out in front for now. Lexi Bradley works all the way back to the stage. Clicks the heel against the stage and now serves it across. Liskowski digs it up. Played behind by Craig. Little floater. Beats Hauk to the punch. Craig with back-to-back kills for the Sentinels. She goes back to serve. Craig, again, 4 kills, was their highest returner kill getter. She's been held in check the first 2 games in the WDA season, but she's coming alive here in the early goings against the Mavs. Nelson cross-court, that one drops. These teams like the cross-court strike, and right now it's paying dividends for both squads. As Nelson says, hey, we're going to keep the Mavericks on top, 11-10. 11-10 Mavs, Embry spins the ball around. Jumping serve. Batted out of the hand by Craig. Weissauer backline attack to Liskowski on the third hit. It was close, and they're going to say just out of bounds. It was an awkward kind of first hit there by Craig and forced a backline attack. All 3 backline members for the Sentinels touched the ball on that sequence. From Craig to Weissauer. On over to Liskowski. Craig there will get a clean dig up this time. Allows Francis to work to Harper, who's blocked by Lukey. They'll reset. Craig with a running swing. Little joust at the net, and they'll say Kelly good with the block. Kelly and Gara went up. They'll give the point to the Sentinels. They're back within 1. Aniston Perrin, the junior defensive specialist, comes to serve. Again, 26 digs on the season. That one has a lot of rotation as it works his way to Hauk. Gar to Nelson. Dug up by Weissauer, up and over by Weissauer. Nonetheless, Nelson tries another one. This time in the way is Craig. Francis, little toucher to Kelly. Off of Embry, diving effort by Nelson. Could not quite get there in time. Great effort all around. On the swing there for McKinley Craig to the defensive effort there for Nelson to try to keep it afloat. 12-12, these 2 teams dead even as we're halfway through set 2. Gar to Nelson, blocked up front. Nice play by Embry to keep it alive. Pushed over by Lukey. She slaps it down, but Weissauer ready for it. Liskowski on a line. And it's in. First lead of set number 2 for Minot North. Comes at the mark of 13-12. Ellie Liskowski able just to keep it on a line there on the far side. There was a lot of the Maverick defense on the near side and was able just to play it straight across for the point. Embry digs it up. Gar right down the middle. Lukey had to kind of will reach back for that one, does get across. Craig on the counterattack. Stepping into it is Bradley. Here comes Nelson. Big time swing for the 11. Number 11 with kill. Number 8 for Nelson. 13-13, we're even again. Nelson will sling the ball on over to Ruby Valencia, who checks in. So Lukey, Nelson, Kimora Phillips on the front line for the Mavericks. Valencia serves it right on to Weissauer. Perrin back to Weissauer. Here comes a free attack incoming for the Mavericks. Valencia to the near side to Nelson, who's blocked by Bryn Francis. Francis reads it well, quickly gets on over to her right, blocks Nelson, and puts the Sentinels up by 1, 14-13. Served into the net by McKechnie, 14-14. As Jenna Nelson back to serve. And just great attendance here tonight. On both sides, you see a lot of Minot North fans in attendance as well. As reaching back was Kimora Phillips, so it looks like a two-touch on the side of Minot North. 15-14 Mavericks. Great student section. Sometimes on these Saturday games, you don't know quite what you're to get with everyone having weekend plans, but it was all seats taken on that far side, as you can see there on your screen. Here comes an attack from Craig, and it pins again. Minot North has done a fantastic job attacking from the back line, and it has just been able to snipe the back part of the box on the Dickinson side and has helped them tie it up once again, 15-15. Francis, this time her serve out of play, 16-15 Mavericks again, who have led a majority part of this game, or set number 2. Led as much as 5 in the early goings, but now it's just been trading points back and forth as we get closer and closer to that mark of 25. Lukey serve, scooped up by Perrin. Little back set from Francis Laskowski. Great defensive effort. Valencia and Lukey are on the ground, pushed over by Nelson. Craig just going to underhand uppercut that ball. It goes out of play, and here comes a timeout called by Coach Francis as the Mavericks lead 17-15 in set number 2 on the PSP Network.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess, and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
Coming out of the Minot North, timeout. Mavericks of Dickinson High lead 17-15 here in set number 2. Minot North leads the match 1-0. Jenna Nelson plays it to Lexi Bradley. She'll try to slash it across, blocked by Craig. They do punch it over. On the Sentinel side, Francis down the middle. They work it to Jessen and blocked by Bradley. Well, let's say it actually hit the net and then came back on the Sentinel side for a 4th hit. Either way, Maverick point, 18-15. 18-15, Jersey Lukey back to serve. Right to Weissauer, high in the air. Francis, quick little set to Craig, off of Kimora Phillips. Phillips, great effort, keeps with it, hits it over. Francis will try again, goes to Craig on the opposite side this time. From Nelson to Valencia to Bradley, blocked up front. Nelson keeps it alive. Bradley swipes it across. Pushed on over to Laskowski. Valencia is there. Nelson sets it high for Bradley, trying to find the corner. Ooh, they're going to say out, and then they will say in. Big time Maverick point. Let's take a look on it on your screen now. Look at Valencia keeping it alive. Nelson to Bradley. Tough a little to see on the screen there. So there was a sentinel that kind of was in the way of the shot, but from my vantage point, I did think it was in. They got the call right on that call, but quickly answering back is the Sentinels, 19-16. 19-16 Mavericks. Ellie Lishkowski standing right-hand serve. Couple of Mavericks go down. Ember the one to get it. Nelson sets it up to Bradley. Blocked. Phillips now from Valencia. They'll go back to Bradley. This time off the fingertips and down. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Bradley blocked once. They go back to her, and the second time couldn't be denied. 20-16 Mavericks win the race to 20. Can they win the race to 25 to capture their first set point? Eva Hauk, jumping right-hand serve, right to left across your dial. As they'll play it back to Craig, who's blocked by Bradley, but last touched by Bradley, 20-17. This matchup has been fun, entertaining. Lots more volleyball yet to be played here between these two squads already, as this is just set number 2. Closing stages of it, though, 21-17. Almost drifting out. Hauk plays it last second. It will drop in, and there's an ace serve for the Sentinels. Give it to the libero of Weissauer. Kate Weissauer with her second ace for the senior. The senior libero now will play and get back in the side of the play here. Emerson Gar plays to Rakowski, who's blocked. Gar now will go to Bradley this time. Blocked again. Relentless defense for Avon Kelly and Madeline or McKinley Craig up front. Those two was able to kind of been able to try to control the tempo so far, and they have played big part here in set number 2 as the Mavericks lead now just by 1, 20-19 here in set 2. Closing stages continuing to get a little bit closer here in this second set as Minot North leads 1-0.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Minot North with a big block that brings them within 1 here in the closing stages of set number 2. Dickinson leads 20-19 as Weissauer serve a little too long, 21-19. And if you're Dickinson, you're probably giving a sigh of relief with Weissauer out of the serving line there, as she's had 2 aces today and has just been consistent at the service line. 21-19, Mavericks up by 2. Bradley with the serve, dug up by Lishkowski. Francis to Kelly, slashed it across. Great diving effort by Hauk. Bradley to Nelson, just veers out of the box to the left. 21-20, back to a 1-point game. 1-point set, 21-20. Kinley Craig gives it a spin, sends it on its way, right to Hauk, controls it well. Gar to Nelson with a running head start. One-handed dig up on the end of Weissauer, and then Harper with a little taparoo hits off of a Maverick and down, and that will even it up. 21-21. Heads up play by Harper. Addie Harper quick on the draw. Evens it up 21-21. Jumping right hand serve by Craig. Dug up and over by Hauk. Slashed down by Kelly, but looks like a carry on Avon Kelly. You can see on her reaction there, she knew exactly what happened before the line mates did, the officials, and now she looks back on over to Coach Francis with a big smile on her face. Kelly's been a key part in that middle hitter position. 22-21, Mavericks up by 1. Embry with the serve goes libero to libero, dug up by Weissauer. A set dump for a point for Bryn Francis. I always thought the set dump didn't really have an official name. I always called it the dagger, not quite the kill, but a little dagger. My time at the University of South Dakota, one of the volleyball players on that team at that time, Brooklyn Ballwig, shout out to Brooklyn, told me no, it was the set dump and kind of looked at me weird for calling it the dagger in the first place. Gar sets it over to Nelson off of a Centennial and out of bounds. 23-22. Nelson with her 9th unofficial kill. This is where it gets really key here. It could be a big swing. Mavericks get the point. They get a little bit of cushion up right now just by 1, 23-22. And Ruby Valencia with an ace serve. Well, that was right on cue for Valencia. As let's take a look at the Ryan Family Dealerships. Instant replay goes off of a Minot North defensive specialist and out of play. And Valencia with the ace has put the Mavericks in a set point. Big thanks out to our sponsors tonight. Big thanks out to Farsted Oil. Contact Farsted Oil today to find out their skilled sales team can help you achieve your wholesale fuel, mobile lubricants, and DEF needs. Proudly serving North Dakota, Montana, Western Minnesota since 1938. Committed to outstanding customer service and reliability. Farsted Oil. BNC National Bank scoreboard shows Mavericks up 24-22 over Minot North in set number 2. Set point coming up on its way from the Serve Pro last set. Potential last set of set 2. Valencia seeing if she can put this one in the books. Already's got one ace, seeing if she can double down and go back to back. As it goes to a death fly. You can hear a pin drop. As got real quiet there for Valencia. And she goes back to back aces to close out set number 2. Valencia seals it in favor of Dickinson as they lead, or as they even things up 1 set apiece. We head on over to set number 3 when we return on the PSP Network.
Breathe in. I can't believe I wrecked my car.
There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Spas Etc. is excited to introduce the addition of the Master Spas line, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas and swim spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools and saunas. Come check out the outstanding lineup of Master Spas at Spas Etc.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Saturday is for volleyball here in the Queen City here this week as Minot North, Dickinson High all evened up at 1 set apiece. 2 sets in the books as we will take a peek on over. Now we're going to take a look at the score update on from Jamestown and Williston, the only other WDA matchup in action today, and it has gone final. Williston took set number 1, 26-24 from the Blue Jays, but Jamestown would win the next 3 sets, picking up the 3-1 victory, 25-12, 25-16, and 25-23. So Jamestown with the win there, and they remain perfect in WDA play. So 1 set apiece here in this match. So now we head on to set number 3. Gar to Nelson. And the Mavericks strike first. As Sentinels, if you're just joining us, took set 1, 25-19, answered back by DHS 25-22. It's a hard-fought set number 2. But the Mavericks led early, gave up a lead just once to Minot North and had the lead ever since, just by about a point or 2 margin. Little tap on the side of Nelson, and Nelson has got the party going early on for Dickinson High once again. Mavericks in set 2 jumped out to that early 5-point lead, and that helped keep them in the driver's seat, even when Minot North was hot on pursuit. Francis plays on to Harper. Hauk keeps it off the back line, pushed over by Nelson. High in the air by Weissauer, attack from the back by Liszkowski, diving effort by Embry. Here comes Lukey, who just punches it over. Back down the middle, Kelly, ate up by Embry. Gar to Nelson, little tap, diving effort by Francis, but could not quite control it. Nelson with the kill. She's got not 1, not 2, but 3 kills here in set number 3 as the Mavericks lead 3-0. Big-time players make big-time plays, and Nelson has done that. Let's put him up here in set 3 by 3. Francis to Kelly. Embry is there. Bradley with a bump pass across the court from Bradley to Nelson for another kill. Unofficially here, I believe I got her at a dozen unofficial kills for Jenna Nelson. They lead 4-0. Embry's serve into the netting on a service error, but the Mavericks start this one up early 4-0. Now it's a 4-1 lead. There's Embry there. Again, Embry has done a great job on the backhand. She has an ace on the day earlier in this match. Now back on the other side, serving Leanne Sims, serving for the first time today. Hauk digs it up. Gar to Nelson, tried a little tap, but that one not quite having enough power behind it. Will stay on the Dickinson side and be a Sentinel point. 4-2. Slash the gap in half. Leanne Sim, a sophomore, getting some reps as an underclassman. As Gar back to Nelson. Little running hit there. Right to the back line of Liszkowski. They go to Harper. Off of multiple different Mavericks. Hauk, though, a great play. Bradley backwards, bumps it across. Great effort by the Mavericks. Francis, though, tries to strike when the iron's hot. Does get it across. Last touch by Lukey. Nelson blocked, and it's Avon Kelly again. Avon Kelly with another block on the day. We've talked about it. She has controlled the net and has been that net presence for North today. And she has them right in striking distance of the Mavericks here in set 3. 4-3, Dickinson High leads. Played near the net, slammed down by Nelson off of Francis and out of play. Almost losing space for all the tallies for the Nelson kills today. 13 already, and it's just set 3. We're already guaranteed 4 sets in this one, as it's evened up right now, 1 set apiece. Ruby Valencia had back-to-back aces to close out set number 2. She serves it across there. Counteracted by Avon Kelly. Now here comes Nelson. Pins it on the far side again. Jenna Nelson on another level. Here in set number 3, she has had a great game in set number 1 and number 2, but set number 3, it's another level. turns the dial from already playing at 10 out of 10 to switching on to 11 or even 12 out of 10. Embry could not quite control that one. It goes out of play for Minot North Point. DHS leads 6-4 here in the third set. Sentinels now will bring in Aniston Perrin. Served a couple times this far today. Standing serve. And it drops in for an ace serve for Perrin. Exactly what you want to see if you're Coach Francis. Have a sophomore come in, or a junior come in off the bench, going for a serve and pick up an ace, and just like that, they're back within one. Serves across, dug up by Nelson. Valencia to Lukey, slashes it over. Tamed down, here comes a swing into the net by Liszkowski. 7-5, Mavs. The Sentinels have brought in Leanne Sim, and she was the setter on that last attack. Francis still on the court as well, so got a couple of different setting options with a two-set system right now for North. Little floater across by Bradley. Kelly blocked by DHS. Now they'll try the opposite direction. Francis into the net it goes, 8-5. Relentless attacks on both sides. A relentless pursuit to try to win that race to 25 here in the early goings. Every point crucial, 8-5 here in set 3. Valencia tracks that one down. Embry bumps it over. It's going to be a free attack for the Sentinels. Sim to Kelly. Phillips steps into it. Embry over to Bradley. Off the fingertips of Kelly and down. Lexi Bradley with her fourth kill on the afternoon. (9-5) DHS. Jenna Nelson sends it right to left. Weissauer dug it up, but it drops back down. The ace serve for Nelson. Firing on all cylinders is the senior. As DHS has doubled them up on the scoreboard now, 10-5, biggest lead here in set 3. Weissauer is there. Sim to Kelly, up and over the blocking defense, and Kelly with the nice smooth play. Smart play there by Kelly. Doesn't need to be that big swing. A point's a point, and just being able to out-time the front line of the Mavericks. Phillips and Lukey go up, and as soon as they're going down, you just hit it over the top of them. Valencia slapped around by Lukey. He was trying to teeter-totter on the line. Believe she did cross, but regardless, does fall on the DHS side. So any way you cut it will be a Minot North point, 10-7. Served across by Kelly. A little bit too much power behind the serve from number 8. Goes into the stage, 11-7. Kelly checks out. He's had a really good matchup so far as Kelly, the leading kill getter on the season for North. Sim down the middle, pushed by Jessen. She's blocked by Kimora Phillips. Phillips has got a block and a half in this one. Gets the block, but puts the Mavericks back up by 5. 12-7 DHS. Sim plays it behind her to Francis, who's blocked by Bradley. Bradley and Claire Rodakowski with a tag team effort. It's all Mavericks here in set 3, 13-7. As timeout taken by Minot North, will take one with them.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Breathe in. I can't believe I wrecked my car.
There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest.
Both teams electing to go and play early. There were still 30 seconds left on the intermission clock, but the timeout clock. Both teams don't want to jump right back in the action as Bradley sends it into the net for a Sentinel point, 13-8. DHS leads. Mavericks can led as much as 6 points in this game. They're in set number 3. Set number 1 was all Sentinels. Set 2 was back and forth, but the Mavericks were just a point or two the entire way. Here it's been the Mavericks in the driver's seat, but the Sentinels slowly reeling them back in. It's worked it down to 4-point gap, 13-9. Here's a serve for Bryn Francis. Diving effort by Embry. Valencia tracks it down. Hit from the back end by Nelson. Francis is there. Weissauer. Little stutter step on the attack from Craig. Valencia paws it up to Kimora Phillips and just sends it out of the box. And here's a 3-point swing the opposite direction for the Sentinels. Well, that 3-0 run has brought the gap slashed in half to 3. Embry's there. Valencia to Bradley with the kill. Lexi Bradley, kill unofficial number 5 for number 12 in the orange and black. Couple substitutions coming in. Valencia and Kimora Phillips check out with a job well done. As Ava Hauk comes in to serve. 14-10 Mavericks. Hauk with the serve. Scooped up by Perrin. Attack will find its way over by Evelyn Jessen with her second kill. That's something that this Mavericks or this Sentinel team has done a really good job of, is pressure in the middle. You always see the outside hitters rack up those kills, but when you can get that presence in the middle that Minot North has had, and they're right on cue. There's a block from Jessen in the middle. That is when you're really firing on all cylinders, and this Minot North team has had that presence up front with Avon Kelly, and now Evelyn Jessen stepping up when Kelly has been absent. When she goes and takes the break, and now Jessen stepping in well, and here comes another point for the Sentinels, and just like that, a 5-0 run for Minot North and forces the Mavericks now to take a timeout. Mavericks still lead here in set number 3, 14-13. We're all evened up one set apiece here in set number 3.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
These two teams not taking full timeouts. Another half timeout taken, and there's a beautiful set dump. One of the best plays you're going to see in volleyball. I love when the setters get creative and strike on their own there. We'll take a look at Emerson Gar with a set dump. Catches the Sentinel sleeping. Serve a little too far on from Bradley. And brings it back within a point, 15-14. Kate Weissauer goes to serve. She'll look on over to Coach Francis where she wants to pin this ball. They're going to go to the back line to Hauk. Gar to Rodakowski, who swings it down. Claire Rodakowski with a big time swing and score for the Mavs. Great setup from Gar, and Rodakowski hits it where they're not. No Sentinel in the back line. 16-14. Embry with a beautiful rainbow serve. Francis to Kelly, who's back in, and Kelly checks in, makes another big play for Minot. Avon Kelly, unofficial kill number 4. Talked about that presence in the middle with her and Jessen. has been monumental in this game. Craig skips one across the net. Gar to Lukey, who just pushes it across. Free attack. Here's a little slap over by Avon Kelly. She'll even point on over to Bryn Francis. Admiring the work there. Kelly, back-to-back points for the Sentinels. 16-16. All even up here in set number 3. One set apiece, and the score in set 3 is all even up as well. Francis to Kelly. Slams it down again. Kelly, back-to-back-to-back points for Minot North. Kelly's been getting going as she checks off the bench and has made her imprint here in set number 3. Has put Minot North in the lead for the first time in this set. Nelson tries to get a point back, but there's a big block. Now Lukey's going to try that one off the mark. Left of the box, 18-16 Sentinels. After taking their first lead of the set, they've extended it now to 2. With McKinley Craig serving. Picked up by Bradley. Gar plays the back line, off her back foot, Nelson. Diving effort by Craig. Francis to Kelly. Puts it on a line. Avon Kelly with the kill. Avon Kelly's got it going now as Minot North all pumped up. The momentum back on their side. They lead 19-16 here in the third set.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Coach Taylor Hafner of DHS giving a one last pep talk coming out of the timeout break. Dickinson has led the majority part of set number 3, but Minot North has gone on a run, led by Avon Kelly. And they have flipped the script. They now lead 19-16 in favor of the Sentinels. Gar plays it high in the air. They fake it to Lukey and give it to Nelson with the kill. Jenna Nelson, kill, unofficial number 15 for Nelson. Nelson had a crazy start here in set number 3 where she picked up, I believe, the first 3 to 5 points for Dickinson. As there's the serve by Valencia. Pot out of the air by Weissauer, pushed over by Harper, but it goes out of play. And just like that, the Mavericks back on top. We're back in the mix, back within 1. 19-18, Sentinels still lead. Excuse me on that, as Valencia goes right on over to Laskowski, as bumped near the net, slammed down by Nelson, and now we've got a tie game, 19-19. If set number 3 wasn't going into it a big set with the match tied 1 set apiece, well then you even add to a little bit more of the excitement as it's all tied up 19-19. Weissauer digs it up, Francis to Kelly on the pull swing there. Response by Nelson, up and over the first line of defense, and it drops in front of McKinley Craig. Jenna Nelson, start of the set on fire. Now trying to close the set on fire as well. She puts the Mavericks back on top, 20-19, but Valencia serve into the net. And now we're tied once again, 20-20. The teeter-totter game here in set 3. Back and forth we go as we now ramp up the pressure. Both teams in the 20s. Now it's the race to 5. Nelson finds it again on the floater. Mavericks back on top, 21-20. Nelson waits for the ball to slowly roll to her. Trying to keep the momentum on the Maverick side. Right to Craig. Francis, back set to Kelly. Blocked by Bradley and Lukey. And now Minot North will take a timeout. Here is the setup, the back set. Kelly blocked by Bradley and Lukey. As the Mavericks lead 22-20, Sentinels and Coach Francis taking a timeout. Timeout brought to you by First International Bank and Trust. First International Bank and Trust is a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between their employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural North Dakota urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can find them online at FIBT.com. That's First International Bank and Trust. Time out taken by the Sentinels. And that's been a big part of this game, has been the game within the game. It's been the strategic when you call the timeouts between Coach Francis and Coach Hafner here in this set. And so far, the timeouts that they have taken have given them the right momentum. The Sentinels were starting to pull away. Hafner takes a timeout. Just like that, the Mavericks are on top. Now we'll see after Francis' timeout to see how the Sentinels counteract. But another block by Lukey and Phillips on the far side. And the Mavericks up 23-20. Just 2 points away from taking set 3. Nelson serve, picked up by Kelly, played too close to the net, and Lukey will put that one down on the ground for a Maverick point. Now here comes a set point for the Mavs. Set point for the Mavs. They lead 24-20 here in set 3. Nelson serve, picked up before it drops by Perrin. Francis's pass intended for Liskowski goes over the net, and they're going to say a violation on Minot North, and that's the way it is going to end here in set number 3. Dickinson High has taken sets 2 and set 3 to go up 2-1 here in the match. We head on over to set number 4 when we return on the PSP Network.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
At Badlands Pet Crematory, we understand that pets are family. Unlike other crematories in the area, we are the only dedicated pet crematory that offers private individual cremation. One pet at a time, 100% guaranteed. From start to finish, we personally handle your pet with the utmost care, ensuring that you receive only your pet in return. Choose Badlands Pet Crematory, because saying goodbye should come with certainty and trust.
Dickinson High up 2-1 as we begin set number 4. Set 3 finalized 25-20 as DHS singing some Sweet Caroline here at the DHS gym in the Queen City. There you see the new Maverick logo. First game in this gym as the Mavericks for Dickinson High School. That intermission brought to you in part by Charbonneau Car Center as we head on over to set number 4. In Dickinson, New England, Richardson, Belfield, Williston, and North Dakota, and Glendive, Montana. Folks there, drivers there, work hard, play hard, and need a car to keep up. That's why Charbonneau Car Center offers Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram lineup at their dealership in Dickinson. If you're interested in learning more, stop into their showroom and treat yourself to a test drive. Visit them online at CharbonneauMotors.com. Oh, what a game so far. We've still got plenty of volleyball left to be played for at least another run to 25, if not going to the distance of a fifth set. And as these two teams have been very evenly matched, again, if you're just joining us, set 1, Minot North took it 25-19. They led pretty much in its entirety of set 1. Set 2, Dickinson led the majority of set number 2. It was back and forth, 25-22. And in set number 3, Dickinson got off to a great start. Minot North almost stole it from behind, took the lead late. But the Mavericks took a well-timed timeout by Coach Hafner, and the luck turned on the tables again, and Dickinson was able to get it 25-20. Back and running here in set number 4. If Dickinson takes the set, they take the match and pick up their first win in WDA contest this year. And Jenna Nelson going to make sure she can do everything she can to make that possible as Jenna Nelson picks up where she left off, as that's kill number 19 unofficially for number 11 in the black and orange. Lexi Bradley. Into the net it goes, 1-1. Again, can't get over the attendance here tonight. Just great attendance from the student section to the fans. For Dickinson, to the fans, to Minot North. They have filled up that side of the gymnasium. Here's a big swing by Claire Rodakowski with the kill. She looked a little surprised once that one came off her hands and into the hardwood for a Maverick point. But hey, if it works, it works. 2-1, Mavericks lead. They lead 2-1 in the match, and they lead 2-1 here in set 4. Embry serve. Scooped up by Craig. Francis pushes it across to Harper. Harper's attack well baited there by Hauk and pushed across by the Mavericks. Mavericks are just having fun out there today. There you see, just slap it on over. Was Claire Rodakowski, back-to-back kills for Rodakowski, 3-1. Embry serve, scooped up from libero to libero by Weissauer. Kelly's attack, out of the box it goes, 4-1 Mavs. Just back and forth. We've seen these two teams battle, but right now, Dickinson has had the momentum. They've carried it on from set 3 to set 4. Set dump by Francis. Great effort by Bradley, but could not quite keep it off the hardwood. And there's the response you were looking for. If you're Coach Francis, that little quick attack from Bryn drops down and slashes it into a 2-point gap. Addison Perrin with the serve. Back line, Bradley there. Guard works it to Nelson. Unloads there. Nice dig up, but it goes back right to Nelson. She pulls the trigger again. Jenna Nelson back to back. Big swings. There's the one that hits Pater. 5-2 Mavericks. Ruby Valencia's already got a pair of aces. She goes back to serve once more. She had the key aces to set up the set 2 victory. She went back-to-back aces to win set 2, 25-22. This time, though, a little bit too strong, 5-3. Sentinels back within 2. Valencia fakes it to Lukey. They go to Nelson, who's now on the far side. Now she'll work back to the near side. Will Nelson as the ball comes back. Valencia to Nelson. Blocked up front by Jessen. Bradley to Nelson again. A little tap. Great effort by Perrin. Keeps it off the ground. Hit over by Craig. Valencia to Lukey down the middle. Francis works it to Laskowski. Punches it over. Bradley there. Valencia far pass to Nelson with a kill. Jenna Nelson was everywhere on that play. She was on the far side, made an attack, then came to the near side with an attack. And the third attack on the sequence for Nelson was the one that picks up the point, 6-3. DHS. Laskowski. Pot out of the air by Embry. Here comes Bradley. Fans on the attack, just off the fingertips, 6-4. These early points matter just as much as those later points. Setting it up, trying to pull away and leave yourself some insurance, some breathing room later in on the set as the Minot North serve goes into that 7-4 DHS. They make some substitutions to bring in Jersey Lukey. Jersey Lukey, a couple of blocks, a couple of kills unofficially today for 22. In the black and orange, and there's an ace serve for Lukey. So, hey, why not? Got a couple of blocks, got a couple of kills, and there's an ace to go in the stat sheet for the senior. A very senior-heavy DHS squad. All the players in this varsity lineup are seniors except one. The lone junior is Ava Hauk. This serve, though, goes into the netting and send it back to Minot North to serve. They'll bring in a couple of different players here as they'll bring in McKechnie to serve, and they will also opt to bring in Addie Harper off the bench, the sophomore. It's had some nice swings on the far side. McKechnie serve. Slices through the DHS defense, and there's an ace serve for Kaylin McKechnie. There it is on the Ryan Family Dealerships. Instant replay. Gets the ace, brings it within two. This time, Bradley will dig it up cleanly. Valencia with the back set. Kimora Phillips punches it across. But wait a second, no. Thought I saw the 4 go up on the official side, but it looked like it was 3 hits, but maybe it was some other violation. Regardless, Minot North will bring it within 1. Before McKechnie a little too strong on that serve. 9-7 Mavericks go back up by 2. 9-7 Mavericks lead here in set number 4. They take the set, they take the match. They're 0-1 in WDA play. Just played Bismarck on Tuesday, fell in a 4-setter. Minot North 1-1. Fell in a 4-setter to Legacy on Tuesday, but defeated Williston in 3 straight sets on Thursday. That ball stuck in the rafters. It's going to fall down. Embry, great effort. Reads it like a book. Nelson bumps it across. Attacked by Harper, though. Off of the front line and down. That was a big point for North, because if Dickinson was able to score that point off the rafters and Embry reading it perfectly, I think this gym might have erupted. And that's a dangerous game when it could get loud and really turn the momentum in Dickinson's side, who already leads by 1, and there's punched across by Claire Rodakowski. As this game has continued on, Rodakowski has left her footprint more and more into this game. 5 kills for Rodakowski. 10-8 Mavericks, dug up by Weissauer. Francis over to Craig, a little too strong. 11-8 as we get closer and closer to the halfway point. Mavericks next week. They got Bismarck Century on the road before coming back on the 11th against Jamestown. Jamestown picked up a 3-1 victory today against Williston. Dropped the first set against the Coyotes, but were able to take control of the next 3. Craig with the serve, 11-9 the score. Near the net, trying to peel it off the net was Emerson Garr, but could not quite peel it off cleanly enough, and that will be whistled for a Sentinel point. Back within 1 is Minot North. Sentinels continue to keep on battling their way back in. Jenna Nelson, too strong, 11-11. So after Dickinson was starting to pull away, the Sentinels have tied it up again. Shades of last set. Dickinson led the majority of the start. The Sentinels almost stole one late, but then The Mavericks got the late momentum and put it back in their favor. Jenna Nelson with the swing and the kill. 22 unofficial kills for Jenna Nelson. Had 20 kills on Tuesday. Now 22 kills just a couple days later here on this Saturday afternoon. 12-11, Weissauer there. Francis back set to Kelly. Send it on a line. Quick whistle before the play even comes to an end. Violation on the hand of DHS. Back to an even game, 12-12, right at the halfway point. Halfway done, halfway there. Minot North, if they win this set, we play a set to 15 for set number 5. If DHS wins this set, they'll come away with the WDA victory. As Lukey blocked by Avon Kelly. Kelly again with another block. Very unofficial stat sheet on the blocks for points. I got 3 blocks for points for Kelly, but probably could be closer to around 5, if not more. She's been everywhere. And right on cue, Avon Kelly again. Back-to-back blocks for Aiden in the navy and silver. Avon Kelly continues to control the net, blocks it down on the DHS side, and the Sentinels have got the magic going. They lead 14-12 here in the 4th set. Floater by Nelson. Scooped up Francis to Liskowski. That one slammed down by Ellie Liskowski. Timeout to be taken by Coach Hafner and the Dickinson Mavericks. Sentinels have battled their way back into the lead here in set 4, 15-12 when we return.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Name it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
It's a great Saturday here at the DHS Gymnasium. You got all sorts of fun that everyone's having. A great family affair here for some volleyball of WDA. Dickinson High, Minot North. Dickinson High leads the match 2-1, but the Sentinels have battled their way back to take set number 4's lead right now halfway through, 15-12. Back in action, Lukey. Pushes across. Here comes Avon Kelly. Diving effort by Embry. Kelly wants it. Instead, they'll go to Lukowski. Diving effort up and over by Bradley. Francis set dump. Bradley. Another diving effort. Lexi Bradley diving all over the place. Allows a big slam for Nelson. Weissauer is there. Francis to Craig. Backline attack. It's out of bounds. Oh, Lexi Bradley with not 1 but 2 spectacular diving efforts on the back line. 15-13 Sentinels. 13 serving to 15 there. Francis to Liskowski, swipes it across. Valencia with a diving effort. Phillips to Embry, punches across. Free attack incoming for Minot North. Avon Kelly goes for the strike. Valencia on the ground once again. Phillips to Nelson. One hand punched over by Francis. Valencia back set. Phillips trying to jam it across. Weissauer hits the deck. Francis to Liskowski tries to chip it over the net, but no, it goes into the net. Mavericks have battled it back into within 1. 15-14 Minot North. Mavericks within 1, they serve. Valencia's serve goes right to McKinley Craig. Craig back, line attack. Bradley's there. Valencia down the middle. Little tapper by Lukey. Francis is there. She wants it back. Here comes an attack from Francis, and she's blocked by Bradley or by Nelson and Lukey up front. There it is there. Goes from Francis to Weissauer, back to Francis, Nelson, and Lukey with the block to even things up 15-15. Valencia serve a little short, allows the Sentinels to go back up 16-15. Back up by one does Minot North, the visitors. The Road Warriors made the trip out to Williston on Thursday, then back to Minot. Now over here on this Saturday, just a couple days later, to Dickinson. Back-to-back service errors on both squads. Makes it back even, 16-16. Jenna Nelson giving a couple dribbles before sending it on its way. Picked up by Weissauer. Francis to Laskowski. On a line, in the box for a Sentinel score. Sentinel strikes, Sentinel score. Ellie Laskowski's got 5 kills. She's got a good stat sheet, 5 kills, 2 aces, and a block. All unofficial, but very solid stats there for Laskowski. Who entered the day with 21 kills in her first 2 WDA contests. Valencia to Phillips. And Kimora Phillips' attack goes off for the libero of Weissauer now to play. Well, Ed, there's the chance. It's her birthday, so there you go. I thought I saw a sign wishing Kimora Phillips a happy birthday, and there it is confirmed. Kimora Phillips on her birthday picks up a big kill to tie the game up here in set number 4, but a service error will give the Sentinels back the lead. Serving in now with an 18-17 lead for the Sentinels. They'll bring in Kaylin McKechnie to serve. McKechnie's already got an ace today. This time, though, a little too strong. Goes out of play. And that's kind of been the storyline. When one team gets an ace, it seems like the other team gets an ace. When one team gets a service error, then the other team gets a service error. And it's just been got a back and forth in the regards of the swings of serves. But has kept it dead even in this set number 4, 18-18. Ava Hauk with the serve this time around. Right to Weissauer. Francis sets it behind her to Craig off the fingertips. Embry scoops it up. Gar to Bradley. Off the Weissauer's extended arms and out of play. Lexi Bradley with the kill. Again, Lexi Bradley opened up this game for DHS with the first couple of kills. That one gets it off of Weissauer and puts the Mavericks back on top 19-18. Francis back set. Craig sends it off course 20-18, and now Minot North with the back against the wall. They trail by 2 here in set number 4, a must-win set for the Sentinels. They're going to take a break. We'll take one with them right here on the PSP Network.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it. Dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Coming out of the First International Bank and Trust timeout taken by Minot North. As Dickinson back on top here in set number 4, trying to call game. 20-18 they lead. Dickinson takes the set, they take the match. Move to 1-1 and the WDA record on the early part of the season. Francis plays it across to Harper. Was it tipped? No, it was not. So clean out of bounds. 21-18 Mavericks. In set 3 and in set 4, Dickinson led the majority part of the early going. Minot North and took the lead halfway through. And then Dickinson comes out of nowhere again in back-to-back sets. They took set 3 that way. Can they take set 4 and call it a game that way? Jessen punches it over. Nelson is there. Gar lobs it up. Little open palmed attack by Bradley. Weissauer to Harper with a running head start. He's going to go for the swing. Instead, it goes into the open palmed hit, and a back-to-back timeout called by Minot North. But we're going to keep it with you right here on the PSP Network. And thank all of our sponsors for this broadcast. Big thanks out to Charbonneau Car Center, bringing us a check-in on those intermission breaks. Thanks out to Farstead Oil, BSN, Northern Plains Heating and Air, and Minot State. Minot State, the best way to predict your future is to create it with over 100 areas of study at Minot State. You'll earn the degree of your career of your desire with more than 96% of recent Minot State grads employed or continuing their education. MSU grads get jobs, period. Minot State University. Be seen, be heard, be you. Well, the team out of Minot North trails right now 18-22 against the Mavericks here in set number 4. Mavericks trying to call game, need 3 points to do so. Serve by Houck, a little too high and a little too far in a bounce there, and that one going to be a point for the Sentinels, 22-19. Will now bring in for Weishauer. Again, it was 2 quick timeout calls for Minot North. Seeing if this second timeout can give them what they're looking for. Bradley plays it across, and there's a violation on Minot North. Sentinels can't believe it. There's a freebie point, ever so crucial here at the closing stages of the 4th set. 23-19. Bradley puts her hand in the air. Sends it on its way. Scooped up by McKechnie, pushed over by Kelly. Gar to Nelson, winding up, hits it across. Francis to Kelly, swipes it over, scooped up by Houck. Gar goes back to Nelson, winds up, right place, right time is Weishauer. Francis runs it down, Weishauer just going to bump it across. Free attack and coming for Dickinson. They'll go down the middle to Rodakowski, out of bounds. It was setting up perfectly there for DHS, but Rodakowski could not get on top of that ball to send it downwards. It allows the Sentinels to capture their 20th point in set 4, 23-20. Gar sends it behind to Rodakowski, gets the deflection, and now a set point, match point, coming on the way for DHS. The serve pro. Final serve of the game. Watch is in play. 24/7 emergency service. Trained technicians, advanced technology, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Set point, match point on the way. The student section up and jumping. Mavericks lead 24-20, 2-1. Embry with the serve. Scooped up by Craig. Francis to Kelly. Blocked by Nelson and Lukey, but back on the Dickinson side. Nelson with the swing, blocked it out of play. Was it last touch by the Sentinels? They say they didn't touch it. Wait a second, the officiating crew said they did, and it is final. The Mavericks victorious at home in a 4-set thriller for their home opener in WDA play. Falling in set number 1, 19-25, but took the next 3 sets, 25-22, 25-20, and 25-20. Charbonneau Car Center post-game show on our way when we come back on the PSP Network.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7, pressure, points, yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Planning for the future is difficult, but pre-planning your funeral is a thoughtful way to ease the burden on your loved ones. At Stevenson Funeral Home, our compassionate team will help you create a personalized plan that reflects your values. We'll make sure that your wishes are honored and that your family will have peace of mind in a challenging time. Call us today to start your pre-planning journey. You can count on us to be with you every step of the way. Stevenson Funeral Home.
Wondering whether you need wealth management? Wealth management is a multifaceted offering that should provide opportunities for growth and security. At BNC National Bank, we pride ourselves on putting your priorities first and providing practical, objective financial advice. Our team can help you assess your goals and take stock of your assets to determine whether wealth management is right for you. Speak to a member of our team today to learn more. Member FDIC.
Welcome back in. It is final. Dickinson High volleyball wins on their home opener against Minot North 3-1. The seniors all had to have pictures together as, again, a big senior class, all but just 2 players, seniors on this varsity lineup. Now they're taking pictures with Gamora Phillips as it's her birthday. So, hey, what a great birthday gift, a win in the column for the Dickinson Mavericks. Let's take a look at how we got to that point here on the Charbonneau-Carr Center post-game show. Charbonneau-Carr Center knows that drivers in Dickinson, New England, Richardson, Belfield, Wilson, North Dakota, and Glendive, Montana work hard, play hard, and need a car that can keep up. They choose to offer Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram lineup at their dealership in Dickinson. If you're interested in learning more, stop into their showroom and treat yourself to a test drive. Visit them online at charbonneaumotors.com. Again, final score 3-1, and it all started off with Minot North having the early momentum in set number 1. They would jump up 11-5 and just keeping the driver's seat up by 6 points multiple times in that opening set. They would take it 25-19. Dickinson, though, with a great response, was able to take set 2 in a nail-biter. Back and forth they went, but they took it 25-22 and then was in the driver's seat in set number 3, as much as high as 6-point lead for DHS, 13-7. Minot North comes running back into this game, took the lead late, but a great timeout called by Taylor Hafner, and it works back in the favor of DHS. They rally back 25-20, and very similar in set number 4. Dickinson, great start. Saw it start fading away. Minot North takes the lead, but again, timeout. Dickinson recomposes themselves and pulls away again to win it 25-20. So again, final scores in a 4-setter. Minot North took set 1, 25-19, and then back by 3. Dickinson wins 25-22, 25-20, and 25-20. Unofficially in this one, we're going to take a look at the player of the game, and the player of the game goes to the senior, Jenna Nelson. Jenna Nelson with 23 unofficial kills, also had a couple of blocks and some aces on the performance, did Nelson. And she wasn't the only Maverick that got it going offensively. Claire Rodakowski, Lexi Bradley each had 6 unofficial kills as well. And some great passes and assists getting set up by Emerson Gar as well as Ruby Valencia. And this is a great team effort. You look at all the players on this roster that entered the game for Dickinson. They made an impact one way or another. Embry's great defense. We talked about the great attackers in this game. Then you even look at a player like Kamora Phillips and Ruby Valencia. Those 2 players kind of came in, and Jersey Luki, those 3 came in off the bench, made impacts, and helped in crunch time to win those sets. You saw Valencia have back-to-back aces to seal set number 2. So a great round effort for that squad, for the Mavericks to pick up the 3-set victory. Now we'll take a look at unofficial stats for the visitors, Minot North, who just fell short. Avon Kelly was spectacular today. 7 kills unofficially and around 5 blocks for Kelly. Addie Harper picked up 2 kills, so did Brid Francis. McKinley Craig had 6 kills. Ellie Laskowski had 4, and then Evelyn Jessen was also key on the net front, 2 kills and a couple of blocks. But the aces were big. A great serving day for Minot North unofficially on the day, getting 7 aces, and Dickinson recorded 5 aces. Well, what's next on the road ahead? Minot North drops to 1-2 in WDA play, drops to 5-4 overall. They are headed to take on the Bismarck High Demons on the 9th. Then on the 11th, they'll have a crosstown game against Minot High before returning back to their home gym on the 16th against Jamestown. For Dickinson, they pick up their first WDA victory, go 1-1 now in WDA contest, 2-6 on the season. Next up for them, they'll be on the road on the 9th, so it is that Tuesday. They'll be out in the capital city to take on Bismarck Central. We'll be back on the 11th on Thursday to take on Jamestown. Well, that's going to be final right there. There you see it, a great shot. Big thanks out to our camera operator, Austin Rotz. Big thanks out to all of our great sponsors that have made this great broadcast possible. And thanks for joining us from the Queen City on this Saturday. Again, final score, Dickinson 3, Minot North 1.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.